So about Power, because Power is back now.
Power's the fuck back.
Whoa, that was kind of aggressive.
My bad.
It was.
But
strong.
It was real strong. So everyone has their theories on who killed Ghost. It was Tariq. Hands down, point blank, period. It was Tariq.
Well, we know it wasn't Dre's ass.
Finally got that nigga out of there.
Barbecue
Sorry
ass.
for ya. You're so adorable, but deuces.
That big ass nose.
Adorable by his
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No comment.
Big
I was going to say something that was
Nigerian,
going to be
big
really
nose.
inappropriate. So I'm just going to move on.
I love the fact that he is a great father. Okay?
But
loves his
guess
daughter.
what?
Well,
his mother stepped in now.
She did the damn devil.
His mother stepped in.
I
so
think he's the devil. You
The
saying
devil.
she is?
Yeah.
I think it's a mixture of both. I feel like she created that devil.
Mhm.
So
Right.
So, and I mean, like, he showed how, like, she created that devil. So,
Factual.
Right.
But bye-bye.
and then there's another theory. Well, who do you think? Because you didn't say who you
Bitch,
thought.
I already said that Tariq did it. And
Okay,
what?
Tariq.
Yeah.
See, 1-2 Tariq.
Because
Tariq too,
you
right?
already know why.
Tariq, I'm sorry.
So it's
That double back. That second chance.
that double back. That's what I said. Because okay,
Bitch, shut up. Because remember when we watched it the first time, you was like, I didn't even watch it all the way. And now she done thoroughly watched the
because I
motherfucking
did. I
episode.
watched. I
No.
always watched the
She
previous
did, and she
episode
did, and
before
she
I watched
did.
the first episode. Thank you very much,
Now
Sarah.
she want to break down episode.
Right.
Exactly. So Tommy, I feel like he going after not Two, but what's the other one?
Spanky.
Spanky. He's going after Spanky. So that's who you see him going after.
Factual.
I don't think that is him. Tasha, granted, she killed Keisha, but I just don't think that.
She trying to act all fucking gangster.
Right, she ain't gangster. She's not going to kill Ghost. She's had way too many opportunities to kill him. She's not going to kill
Remember
him.
when he gripped her the fuck up? She just
Yeah.
doing shit.
But
She
you know
ain't
she
doing
loves some
nothing.
silver, child, so she try to fight for her silver.
She ain't about to do that
Again,
shit.
she ain't doing shit.
Then
She ain't doing that.
Angela's sister, she ain't about that life. She thinks she about that life.
That bitch is a pussy.
She may have been on her way thinking that she was going to do it, but that she ain't going to do that.
I think she was on her way
And
to do
then
nothing.
Sax.
Oh, he jerked off.
Sax made
He snort coke, he pop pills, and he an alcoholic.
And he's a
He ain't
jerker.
do it.
and
He's a jerker.
He ain't do it.
so Sax.
Don't
I don't
even
think
know
that
what
he's
he's
out
out
of
of
because Sax, for one, like y'all said, he's a pussy. For two, puss.
Where's that cat?
Also, I just think that, like, for him, he's more like he was going to kill himself. Like, I don't feel like he was going to kill Ghost. I feel like he was going to kill himself or do something at the actual agency. Like, I don't feel like he was going to kill Ghost.
I don't think he can stand toe to toe. Like I don't
No,
really think
I
he
don't
would
think
put
so.
himself in
Bottom
that
line
position.
is, Tariq killed him. Tariq went back to that
Well,
club and gave him a
hold
second. What?
What if Ghost ain't dead?
Tell us what you
Theory
think.
number 2.
I'm thinking that he's still alive. Because every character that's been killed off the show, they go straight to their Instagram and thank all the fans and everything for watching
He ain't
the
did
show.
shit yet.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, he been did that.
See,
for
she,
him.
Well,
she
Well,
paid
yeah,
attention to that
I
shit.
must have missed that
He
one.
put he
because-
been like the after the first like
After
last season or whatever
yeah.
that episode when he got shot, he went right on Instagram, thank everybody for this show, like you know all the fans and everything. Like he thanked everybody, like everybody that's been killed off. They even go right on.
I mean,
Instagram.
yeah, it is it is
So
something.
I don't give a fuck what spoiler alert you motherfuckers got out here, you spoiling ass, miserable, spoiling ass geeks.
Well, I don't think that, you know, for this season, yeah, he's quote unquote dead, but he's still gonna be a very active player in this season. I mean, this whole first
because it's who
episode, right? This whole first episode, even though it didn't follow him directly, still followed the whole story of who killed Ghost.
Right.
So,
So,
it's basically following everybody's day.
but I mean, there is a slight possibility that the last episode will be like Ghost sitting on the beach somewhere, like chilling with some Spanish.
Oh,
chick,
he on his
you know what I mean?
Tupac shit.
Right, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Never know.
You
All
never
eyes
know.
on me.
You never know. Like, it's the last, 3 episodes now or 4 episodes now?
Child, it's only 4. Damn, don't be trying. You know what, in this. Because you up here trying fucking in the fucking power all early and shit. Bitch, we got 4 episodes left, dog. 4.
So it's 4 more episodes. That's what I said.
No,
I was
you said
asking
3.
the
You said
question.
3.
I said I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4. Listen,
She
open your
did.
ears up,
She
chat.
did.
Open your ears.
She did. But
But,
anyway, let us know what
yeah.
you think. Who did what? Who shot him? All that good stuff.
It was Tariq.
What the who?
Uno, dos, tres. 3 bad.
Ain't perfectly designed crew, cause we the big 3. Who run this mother? Who run this mother?
Get 'em girl.
Hey everybody, so of course it is your favorite Get 'Em Girl Crew podcast. We are back at it again. Episode 2. It is your fake ass host. Okay, I'm gonna take that away because she got mad last episode because I said fake ass host and she don't like the fake ass host because she was the fake ass host last season. So I'm gonna be the stank ass host. How about that?
Bam, stanky ass. Do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg.
Can you not be on me? And that's only because you called me the stink ass host last episode. That's the only reason why I'm doing this shit. Don't say nothing or I'm going back to fake ass host for the rest of the season.
Oh my.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I didn't say anything.
These fucking Libras. Anyway.
So, it is like, the stink ass host, the social media John, here, live and in color and being aggravated by, of course, the person to my left, the operations John.
Hey.
And then,
Do
of
the
course,
stanky leg.
stop it.
Do the stank-
Stop it. Okay. So now, for the person to the right of me, it is the business John.
She gets a cute little introduction. And I get the aggravating
Because you aggravate me every single time. So that's
What's
why
up,
you get
John?
the aggravating intro.
It's that Libra shit.
It is.
I'm
But
thinking.
anyway.
So we got a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a really, really good episode. I think it's going to be one of our best episodes. Again, we have a lot of those. Stay tuned. It's about to get cray. So first things first, let's talk about
First things first, I pop a freaks all the honey.
dummies, Playboy bunnies, those wanting money. So first, wait.
Penetration.
Oh my God. Never gonna get this done.
Okay, I'm
So I did. So
started it.
let's talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and how they have resigned
Ooh, I fucking love
from
them.
the royal family.
Epic.
Fucking love
Big.
them. Okay?
Big. I
Like,
mean,
who
it's,
the fuck be like, yeah, fuck you, royal family.
but I mean, no,
I
this
stop back.
has happened before though.
I was gonna
When?
say
This
this not the
has
only time.
happened.
When?
Yeah.
It was a prince that decided to step down because he married an American.
When?
But he decided not
What year
to.
was that?
Oh, I forget.
This was
it was
a little
in the
bit-
19. It was 19 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't nobody give a fuck.
So I mean, it wasn't in like granted our generation, but it has happened before. But the craziest thing is that with this, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are both still a part of the royal family. They're just taking a step away. So what they're doing
They don't want
is
y'all money.
they don't want the money. They have decided that they're going to make their own money by their own means, instead of taking the money from the royal family. And Meghan can go back into acting. She can just be a humanitarian.
my close up, Mr. Devane.
So I can't. This is the first time this has happened like this, because what they're going to do is they're still going to stay a major part of the royal family, but not a major part. Like, it's really, really weird how they have it set
I
up.
was about to say, it ain't major.
They're still going to be loyal to the queen. They're still going to do things as far as the actual power palace is concerned. They're still going to do a lot of those things, but what they're set out to do is they're now going to not only live at the palace, but they're now going to have their own residence outside of the palace, which that is very unheard of.
Right.
To have 2 residences. Yeah, so they're definitely making some moves. A lot of people are angry at Megan because this happened.
Because she black.
Why? Because she snatched up that good old red-headed prince and brought him on over here and got impregnated, honey, and had his baby. It's like, fuck that royal family, baby. We can make our own bread, okay?
3.
Yeah, get them, girl.
4.
Hello.
Okay. But, you know, so a lot of people they're very angry at her. They're blaming her for the moves that are being made. Of course, because she's going to be the number one scapegoat. But at the same time, you have to realize that for me, in following the actual royals, because I am a big royals person, Prince Harry was always...
Bust down, Bougiana, bust down, Bougiana.
Anyway, Prince Harry was always like the scapegoat. He was always like the child that was just like whatever. Like
he was a rebel, not necessarily, but he was a rebel.
But that's because like he's not in line for the throne. Like he's not in line. Like his brother is the first in line after his father dies, and then after if something was happening to his brother, guess what? It would be his brother's children. So he's nowhere in that line right now. So he can take that risk and he can do those things with the family and not be like, oh, I was the next one to the throne.
Chunking up the deuces.
Pretty much. But I feel like it's a major move. I feel like in order to keep his family intact, it was a move that needed to be made. And I'm really, really happy that they made that move. I pay her no attention.
She in her own
None.
No,
her own world.
I'm like
her own world.
I'm sitting over here like she's still going.
She's still going.
Okay,
She's still
and
then started cabbage patching and everything over here.
You gotta watch the YouTube for that, baby.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, you know, big ups to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Making that move, taking that risk, and doing what they felt is right in their heart.
Pause. Business, John. What is it called? Hashtag what? Risk it all, bitch.
Hashtag risk it all.
Don't be catch me off guard like that. I don't know what's going on. Was she listen?
Chunking up the deuces.
That was not planned. I don't know.
This shirt is like, oh, okay, right, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about Charlamagne's gift to DJ Envy.
Yeah, somebody tell me about this because I have no idea.
This motherfucker got
you don't know what's going on?
This nigga got his motherfucking ass and balls molded.
I feel like it wasn't really his ass and his balls though.
This nigga got his ass and his balls molded and gifted it to DJ Envy. Bitch, that's like me getting my motherfucking pussy molded and gifted it to y'all.
So was this a video?
Doing that though?
Was there a video of this? A
bitch,
photo
yes,
of
it
wasn't
a video.
So it wasn't a video of Charlamagne actually doing the making.
No, but DJ Envy was
gifting.
touching all on that ass and balls.
But he didn't know he was trying to
get
figure out what it was.
And then he got it out.
What is this? And he was like,
oh, it's like, is this your ass?
Yeah.
Ass and
what was it, silicone?
Yeah, it was one of those, like, you know how they got the things at the sex toy place?
And it was one of them butts.
Like one of those.
It was one of those.
That's why I'm like, I don't think it was really Charlamagne's. I feel like it was a gag gift and he just made it like, yeah, this is my ass and my balls. Because I'm an asshole.
I think Charlamagne The God got enough motherfucking money to get his ass
does.
and his motherfucking balls molded and to give somebody with his actual ass.
My mom.
I didn't think anything of it because being someone who's listened to Charlamagne since he was with Wendy Williams, I thought that it was hilarious because he is a whole asshole and he was like, because I'm an asshole, I'm giving you my ass. And everybody else was like, oh, he giving him his ass.
Oh my
like,
God, he's gay.
It's
Oh
gay.
my God.
Right, exactly.
He's gay.
Like, it was so much
I don't think I would
around
have ever
it.
thought of it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Him
like,
being gay. Like, oh,
I
okay, he's doing
legit-
this because he's gay or blah, 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 blah. No.
Or he wants DJ Envy to like penetrate his ass or something like nah, like I literally thought of it in the sense of like, I mean like, but
Well,
I didn't think of it like that. I didn't think of it like, oh, Charlamagne secretly is in love with DJ Envy and this is like his way of showing it. Like I thought of it in the sense of like, this is him being an asshole because Charlamagne is an asshole. Like,
and
he's an asshole. Like, and he's a lovable asshole. Like he's an asshole, but you agree with the shit he's saying. That's what's so horrible.
He's an asshole.
I want to see it. So guess what,
He's
y'all?
an asshole. No.
When and if we find a link, we gonna click it. We gonna make sure we put it into like our Facebook.
You're the only one who
I know.
hasn't
What the
seen
fuck is wrong with you?
But there might be
It's been
some
shared on
surprises that
Facebook. Like our friends have
It's
shared
been
it. It's
everywhere,
been
child.
all over the place.
Well,
bitch.
go to Shade Room because Shade Room got it. But
Child,
we'll do that
crazy.
link. or
I'm gonna
something.
put it on.
I
there,
want some
'cause
nachos.
I don't know.
How did asshole
Maybe
Charlamagne the God have you thinking about
Like a taco
nachos?
meat?
Because does nachos make you go to the bathroom?
No, I want like the nachos, you know, from the football games and shit with the little nasty ass cheese on the side.
The government cheese.
Yeah, I want it on the side so then I
Why?
can dip my nachos in the.
It's government cheese.
Why?
What?
It's
Why?
black.
What?
They just reheat that shit
I'm
every
hungry.
game.
I can tell.
Okay.
I can't. Right.
Almost lost shit.
And that's what you get. So, there was we talked about, you know, some things happening on social media, but here was
What
a
happened?
big thing that happened on social media. R. Kelly's girlfriends fought on live on social media.
I'm appalled.
They did.
This nigga's locked up and this nigga got girlfriends while he in jail.
They still fighting.
Two.
Over the meat.
Two.
Girlfriends. Not just one. Two.
Deuces.
Those that are public, we should say. There's
Yeah.
probably other ones that are private, but those are the public ones.
Right.
So Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage got into a fight on IG Live, on Azriel's IG Live. And the thing is that
My ear was itching.
and this all happened on the other day, and it was like big news. So they are.
I missed it.
I didn't miss it.
I didn't.
I didn't miss it. See, Whit ain't miss it. How the hell you miss it?
Just the same way she ain't see the fucking ass mold and bone.
See what I'm saying? Like, y'all be, I
The fuck?
don't know how I be catching it. Well, I know how I be catching the shit.
You got too much time on your hands.
Shut up, Val Jr. All right. So,
Well,
from what we could hear in the first video, Joycelyn calls Azriel evil. And it's because Azriel said that she was going to jail along with her boyfriend, R. Kelly, because Azriel was sleeping with Joycelyn when Azriel was still a minor. And she was pressing charges.
I'm pressing charges.
I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges. Where my do-rag at?
Okay.
I'm pressing charges. Take that back. So she was going to be pressing charges. In
And
the
Joycelyn's
actual
emotions got the best of her.
Joycelyn-
Bitch got scared. She upset. Okay.
Whoa.
She ain't getting
Whoa.
dick down no more. She missing that deep. Okay.
So
She missing that
she
pussy.
gotta marry him and get
Okay.
conjunctional digits.
She. I don't think I even want that shit.
I don't even want to know what the word was she tried to say.
Conjunctual.
Conjunctual.
She's
I don't know what a conjunctual visit is. Junction. What's your function?
Consensual.
conjunctional.
What?
Conjunctional consensual digits.
What?
So back to what we was talking about. Because this one right here.
Every episode.
Every single one. So
say
when it
like
comes
that.
to the actual video of this happening, they couldn't see them actual fighting. But what they could hear is the actual fight, and they could hear people trying to break it up. R. Kelly's people then came out saying that it was all a hoax. It wasn't real. Like, it wasn't really a fight.
And it clearly
There
was.
nothing going on. Then Azriel goes back on live again. For one, she is talking about how they can call the cops on her. She's not worried about them calling the cops. Call the cops
She's
on
fussing.
her.
You hear everybody.
You hear everybody in the background and all of that stuff. Then she comes on live again and is talking to the actual cops and telling Joycelyn's name and saying, I need to get my my stuff so I can give you her phone number so you can get her.
Mm-hmm.
This obviously was not any kind of hoax. This was real. Right, and there's other footage of them fighting in the hallway of the hotel, where actual, because they were in the Trump Tower in Chicago. Trump Tower security had to get involved.
Pause.
We already we're not going into that right now. Nope.
But wait, I don't know.
Why the fuck is my motherfucking black people staying the fuck at number 45s any motherfucking
Because
thing?
you gotta realize how many people did Donald Trump molest and he was still
so it's a
right.
it's a molestationist
right
hotel is what it is. So now
allegedly we gotta say allegedly. But you understand.
Yeah.
Like you said allegedly for me.
Take that.
So basically,
right.
Or you know what?
So it was.
Let it go.
So Joycelyn ended up turning herself in to the Chicago Police Department, and she is in custody as of the last I heard. I don't know if she's out yet.
Right.
But Azriel is no longer claiming to be a part of R. Kelly's camp. She is definitely come out
of his cult.
A part of his cult, allegedly. Yeah, we gotta do the.
I'm not gonna say that allegedly. I'm gonna do the quotation marks. So you motherfuckers gotta watch the goddamn YouTube so you can see the quotation marks. Cause I'm not sitting up here saying no motherfucking allegedly. You motherfuckers is a fucking quote.
I agree with her.
Okay?
So
fucking had it.
It was a cult.
It was a cult. So the thing is that with this happening, Azriel has definitely claimed that she's no longer with Robert and that she will, she was something before Robert, she was something after Robert. She didn't need him to actually progress her career, even though she said she didn't want to be a singer. So this is just a lot. And then Joycelyn, since she has been in custody, she has actually been in contact with her family. With her being in contact with her family, they are trying to do some things together and have an actual reunion. If that happens, there may be a very, 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 very likely sense of
a lifetime story.
One, R. Kelly not having any public girlfriends.
Not having anyone underneath his belt, unless we get somebody else that crawls up from beneath a rock.
Because he has them hiding. He has them hiding all over the place.
Exactly. So he'll have some support somewhere. But if Joycelyn, if she waves the white flag, then guess what? He's gonna be SOL.
He is.
It is what it is.
Those two were his biggest public girlfriends and the ones who were publicly defending him the most. So for this to all be going down, it's like R. Kelly is going down. Like it's no question about it.
But I mean, that just goes back to show, like, because once you do not have that support, that main support beam,
she dancing on me.
Cause she always that main support beam. Once that main support beam is taken away, guess what? Everything else
is falls
and it crumbles.
It's falling.
So they don't have anybody else to rely on.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to rely on security. I'm not going to rely on your people. I'm not going to rely on other handlers or anything like that because I love you particularly, Robert Kelly.
Right.
Not anyone else. So if I can't see you every day like I'm used to, or being with you every day like I'm used to, whatever the case may be, or following your directions or demands on a regular basis, then they're not going to do anything but fold. And then that's when they're going to get in their head and they're going to come back to their senses.
Yeah.
And what reality is.
So this kind of leads us into our topic. We actually talked about this last year when the first Surviving R. Kelly came out, but a lot of people don't realize like it's a season 2 out there of Surviving R. Kelly.
Deuces.
Now the rumor is that season 2 is what kind of sparked this whole revelation of what happened with the fight. They won't say exactly why the fight started and why Azriel felt some type of way to come at Joycelyn in that sense. But there's a season 2 out there of Surviving R. Kelly, and if season 1 was crazy, season 2 is even worse. Okay, season 2 is even worse.
I can only imagine.
So as I watched pretty much the whole season, I came back to the girls and was like, yo, all this shit that's going down. I started watching season 2 and shit is real. And they was like, I didn't even realize it was a season 2. They thought they was replaying the first one.
Factual.
And I knew it was a season 2, but I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to hear about this again. Whatever. You know, we talked about it last season. I'm not into this shit. And then this fight happened. When the fight happened, and I was like, you know what? Let me just watch the second season and like see what the fuck they talking about. And it goes deeper.
Right.
So season 1 went deep, and season 1 was what drove everybody to kind of make those steps to getting him prosecuted, right? Season 2 goes into more in sense of where it started and different women also. And you know, the blaming that happened, which we talked about also, how we were like, you know, where were the parents at?
Right.
You know, where were these people that was around, you know, R. Kelly at? You know, all of these things that we talked about, it broke that down also. So if you haven't watched it, look, get prepared, you know, because it's deep. It's deeper than the first one. It's like, whoa. So definitely get prepared. So
we about to take y'all on a roller coaster ride.
We about to take y'all on a ride.
But
talking
we
a
ain't
little
going
bit
to do
about
that ish until after the sponsors.
Level up.
This is why we can't take breaks. This is why. One is leveling up, the other one going to sleep.
We back.
I can't.
I wasn't ready.
So
what was we talking about?
We was talking about this craziness with R. Kelly check.
We was talking about age ain't nothing but a number. Throwing down ain't nothing but a thing.
And that was written by who?
This loving I
Okay.
for.
That was written by who?
Don't pay him no more.
Step in the name of
Oh my God, no she didn't.
Step in the name
Did she really?
Yes, she did.
Stop. He done got 5.
Do you mind?
Wow.
I'll give you some of mine.
This motherfucker done got 8 cents
about
from
to-
us.
Look,
10
to 25.
Do mine, baby.
Ain't cut.
Right.
Okay.
So there's season 2 of Surviving R. Kelly out. So it brings up a lot of different things that happened that we talked about our last episode, but that was, you know, the same thing, but it didn't really dive deep. So let's get into this. So first thing I kind of want to talk about, which pissed me off in this series, was Dame Dash.
Do anything for clout. Do anything for
Dame Dash, as you know, was with Aaliyah at the time of her death, right? So I hate y'all. Like, yo, YouTube is popping right now. Like, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, like, you need to subscribe. So anyway, so
I'm sorry.
when it comes to Dame Dash, like, he just pissed me off of everything in this whole fucking series. Because he was like, yeah, I was with Aaliyah. She wouldn't talk to me about what happened, but she was like, yeah, he's a bad man.
Pause. Because this nigga contradicted his whole motherfucking self. Because you said she wouldn't tell you anything. But then you're like, you knew everything that was going on.
Right.
Nigga.
So which one was it?
Right.
Did she not tell you or she told you?
Or did
But
she
here's
tell
my
you?
thing. If I'm with someone and my man is like, look, don't fool with her. She is a bad chick. Like, you don't want to be bothered with her shit. I'm going to fall back, right? Nigga, you did so much shit with R. Kelly. Your fucking company, when you was with Rockefeller Records, did so much business with R. Kelly. You can't sit up there and be like,
The Rock in the building.
The Rock. You can't sit up there and talk about, oh, he was a bad man. Nigga, you made fucking millions with this nigga. Millions.
You broke bread with him. I'm sure you
Well,
did.
you got like a
Millions.
snake, ma.
Jay-Z did a whole album with R. Kelly under Rockefeller Records.
And that was your
This was
right-hand
before.
man.
This was before all of this shit popped off.
But all this shit was happening, but everybody already knew about it. Fuck out of here, though.
Then on top of that, there was a whole Jay-Z and R. Kelly Best of Both Worlds fucking concert.
Two fucking CD fucking record. God damn it.
There was a record, a CD.
A CD.
There was a concert. So you mean to tell me, oh, Aaliyah this, Aaliyah that, and you know she telling me it's a baby, but yet and still you still made all this fucking money with this man. So
And
that
you
means
didn't
to
say
tell
shit.
me, and you didn't say a goddamn thing.
You ain't say shit. You ain't say shit. But now all of a sudden, we were supposed to get married and all this, that, and the third. Well, then why didn't you say something? If you knew about it, why you ain't say something? Yo.
I think that was my main thing. Because, I mean, just like everyone else that is behind this man that has allowed things to go on for so long, I felt as though Dame Dash, for you to be in a certain position at that time,
Fact.
and with the people that you were rocking with at the moment, I really believe that you could have started a whole different kind of movement at that time and point. If you would have just said, listen, or brought it to somebody's attention, or even just, just start ruffling feathers just a little bit.
Right.
Just to start something, be like, yo, like, this ain't a good dude.
What does that
Because
go back to?
This ain't a good dude.
What would
It
that
goes
go
back to money.
Exactly
It
my
goes
point.
back to money because
Exactly my point.
the thing is that if that shit would have been cut off, then just think of if Jay-Z didn't do that album with R. Kelly. It's not like R. Kelly was the only R&B artist that was out there that he could have done that album with, right?
He was the only Pied Piper.
He was the only Pied fucking Piper. What other evidence do you need? This nigga going around calling himself a Pied fucking Piper. For those of you who don't know what the story of Pied Piper is, Pied Piper made music to attract children away from their parents.
Yes.
To him, and if you go into the real versions, to kill him.
To kill him.
If you go into the original version of the Pied Piper story, it was to kill these children. But, you know, and he was a Pied fucking Piper while doing Best of Both Worlds.
Hello.
He was a Pied Piper then. So it's not like y'all didn't know what the fuck he was doing or what he was charged of. And he was already with Aaliyah and had already been annulled from Aaliyah at that point.
And that was really public. Like
That was really public.
Really big.
And
really
it's
public.
crazy now, like, even though we were younger back then, you know, at the time when everything went down, but when you look at those clips from back then, you're like, damn, they say that shit so nonchalantly, like it's nothing.
It was nothing.
Like, oh, it's raining outside.
Right.
Like,
Aaliyah, R. Kelly marries his protege Aaliyah Dana Halton at 15 years old.
Like,
Huh? Like,
bitch, I'm 15. What the fuck is
Bitch,
going on?
Bitch, we was not 15.
I know, but I'm just saying.
but still.
I was only like,
But it was
No, we
something
was
here.
about this. We was around the same age.
definitely not.
We were.
We
Aaliyah
weren't
was
15.
definitely older than us.
Look up how
Aaliyah
Aaliyah was
at
not
that time.
that much older than us.
Whenever it was when they got married.
Definitely.
And that was what, like 94?
I want to say 94. So I was
That was
in
like 94.
the 5th grade, I think, when all of that happened.
And
So
that
I was
was-
like 10.
Exactly.
So I was
But
like
still.
10. But
5 years
still,
difference, But still.
She was 79.
she was born in 79. That's 5 years, dog. She was only, we
But
10,
still, she's
she was
still in the bracket.
15.
Yeah, she's still in the bracket. She all right.
Right.
But still, like when watching Surviving R. Kelly Part 2 and them just going back replaying those clips of like them being on MTV News and them talking about, oh yeah, like singer-songwriter R. Kelly just married 15-year-old Aaliyah. Like, what the fuck?
30-year-old R. Kelly
Huh?
marries his protege,
Oh, so y'all just saying it like it's
15-year-old
okay.
Aaliyah.
Like, no, this is not okay.
Not at all.
So how did that just get pushed so far underneath the rug like that?
Because
Then,
non-disclosure agreements were written up because Aaliyah's family, with all of this that's going on now, they still have not talked.
I wish y'all would.
And I wish they would have talked back then.
Yeah.
can you imagine how many girls would have been saved if they would have said something back then? Like,
just even her father, just with him,
just being
doing
like,
the little bit that he did to even break them apart.
Right.
Do you know what you could have did
if you would have
just
said,
as a family?
Like, this nigga is a predator. You know, he got with my daughter, and I had no idea what was happening. If that was the case, they was falsifying documents.
Because sure was hell with the 18.
Like, you know, if you would have broke that down then, there wouldn't be none of this going on right now. There would be no surviving R. Kelly. Because guess what? It would have been boop, boop, done.
Right.
Right?
Something would have been going on.
Right.
You know, instead of something like, we have court documents, and now they're just put in a filing cabinet, and okay, what the fuck ever. On to the next.
Right. It wouldn't have gone that far.
Right.
So we hitting into something. So the non-disclosure agreement, agreements, and then settlements. There was mad settlements and non-disclosure agreements, all by this attorney named Susan Loggins, who did not speak on surviving R. Kelly, but a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but several women talked about how they actually received settlements through her office for R. Kelly. She herself would never say how many settlements she actually brokered between R. Kelly and the women, but it was multiple. It was several. So it wasn't just one or two. It was a lot.
A lot.
So we were talking about Susan Loggins and like how she brokered a lot of the settlement deals for R. Kelly, and she won't say how many, but how can you be okay with brokering several deals, right? So one of the people who she actually got in contact with, but she didn't represent her, was Tiffany Hawkins, who was actually the first person who took R. Kelly to civil court.
To court, yes.
About.
So we're talking about even before Aaliyah.
Well, this was right after Aaliyah.
91?
She was with him in 91.
Yeah, because you know,
but she didn't.
That's why she was with him in 91.
Yeah.
But she didn't take him to court until after.
But what I'm saying is, this all started.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that it started allegedly in 1991.
She's the first one.
She's the first one who has come forward about
come forward,
what she
and
went
she's
through.
on paper.
She's fucking bringing them bitches.
She was bringing him her friends
per the episode that she was
exactly my point.
For what she's, and this is from her mouth.
Yes,
it's not from anyone else's mouth. It's from her mouth. She was bringing him her friends. He would every day she would come over. He would say, "Hey, bring your friends." He would always have sex with her friends.
And then every time she went in the room, it was always he was fucking one of them. So basically, again, this was all before Aaliyah.
Yeah.
So
that started before Aaliyah.
Exactly.
And then Aaliyah came in the picture, but when she actually did the suit against him, that's what it is.
Right. That was after.
That was after Aaliyah.
Right. That was after.
So before Aaliyah was in the picture, you know, he was already getting girls brought to him by this 15-year-old Tiffany Hawkins. At the time, she was 15.
Truthfully, y'all, for real, you know how my brain goes. Who's to say he wasn't already fucking with Aaliyah, and he just seen Aaliyah and put her more on a pedestal,
right?
And got her up there to where she was able to get that record deal,
right?
And everything else, because he moved on her very quickly. So who to say like he didn't already establish something with her prior to? What we don't know because we don't. Because baby girl's not here.
Baby girl is not here, and on top of her not being here, her family is not talking.
Exactly.
So we don't know, exactly
when their first connection really was
kind of happened. But what I will say is that Tiffany brought the suit, right, and they decided that it wasn't worth it, and she was the first one. She was the first one to bring this suit to them for criminal charges against R. Kelly. And this was in 1994 or 1995, I want to say. So just think, 1995, 2020, how many years is that?
Too damn many.
too damn many. Okay?
Too damn many.
That's 25 years. 25. Mm-hmm. So just think of if they would have took it seriously when she came to them and told them everything that was going on, right? It was a 7-hour-long deposition. Normally, it's a 3-hour deposition they allow you to do at the max. Because her testimony was so outlandish,
right?
They made it 7.5 hours worth of a deposition. Huh?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And this still like messes with my brain because I'm like, how could this even be allowed? But
he has
we know that power, like, you have money, you got power.
Yep.
And you have certain people that's able to do certain things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So because if he was just some regular old artist out here, starving artist, I'm sure none of
it would have been stopped.
Yeah, this shit would have never went on.
Would have never happened.
But he was able to do certain things, and he was able to make certain things happen that, this shit has gone on for forever.
Right.
It's been forever. I'm saying forever. Shit, my whole life.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm going to say my whole life.
Since we were 10 years old, this shit has been happening. We've been talking about R. Kelly and little girls since we was 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
And we're now in our 30s.
The whole fucking camp knew.
And let's talk about that. Let's talk about these Caucasian women who worked for him, who do not believe any of the accusers. But they say that all of the accusers were R. Kelly's type. So how does that make sense? All of the accusers were his type, which all the accusers were 15, 14.
Young, black
16.
women with a few
You Caucasians got some shit with y'all.
Nah, fuck that. Nah, listen. I don't even remember her name. But that clear bitch that's on that fucking documentary, I'm sick of her ass. I'm sick of her. She sat up there trying to be all cocky and shit. Like, she started out as cocky. She started out as this, and then she was an assistant, and then she was this. Bitch, fuck you, because you allowed that shit to go down. You just turned your fucking head and kept the fuck moving because he was giving you all this money.
Let me tell you how I can tell that her, because it was her and her sister,
right,
both worked with R. Kelly.
Right, they assisted him in some kind of way.
Is that the one that was like she didn't see anything wrong?
She didn't see anything wrong with the video because it was consensual acts.
That ain't even the key. She said, yes, I seen the video. Yes, it was a young girl.
Yup. And I knew how old she was.
With R. Kelly.
And I knew it was him.
But I seen two people having consensual sex.
So you thinking it's okay for grown-ass men to be out here fucking these little ass girls? Like, give me a fucking break. That's what I'm saying. These Caucasians, y'all got some shit with y'all.
Nah, fuck that.
Like, it don't make no sense.
So this is what I said.
Fuck her.
This is what I said because, that's one thing that we do have to bring up is that Caucasian women will put up with stuff that black women won't, right? So she was okay with the shit. You can tell that she was one of the handlers. Her and her sister were the handlers. They were the ones that was handing off the money. If you say this, we got this written note saying that everything was consensual anyway. We got this, we're going to kill your family, or we're going to harm your family, or we're going to harm your reputation, or whatever.
Funny, because they never said the chick that met with the other lady, what was her name? The chick, Faye. They never say if she was Caucasian. She was black. They never described who this chick was.
And unfortunately, it comes all the way back to generations because, Caucasian women were okay with their men doing things too. Guess what? Black women.
And they turned the other cheek.
And
it was okay.
They acted like it didn't happen. They stuck up for their husbands. What does that sound like? That sounds like it's the same thing that's happening right now.
It is. It's the same thing, just in a different term. This is a different time. And that's really all it is. And truthfully, even with her, like, couldn't you see, just in a different scenario, of course y'all know me with my mind, she and or her sister being white young ladies,
right?
Because at that time they were young women,
Right.
Approaching these young black girls to say, hey, you guys, do you want to come, you guys will be okay here, you guys just sit here and chill here, and R. Kelly, he'll just come out and just talk to you guys, or we'll have some people come out and chill with you guys. Here's some candy and popcorn. Y'all watch TV.
Hold. I forgot. Wasn't she his road manager?
Yeah, because she ended up
She
being
was
the
his
manager.
road manager.
Hello.
So she didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Exactly.
She was a personal assistant, and then she was a manager.
So you knew he was out here with your Caucasian clear ass. You knew the fuck that he was out here fucking around with these young ass little girls, and you was okay with it. Like we said, it goes back to when you thought you you Caucasians, okay?
Thank you for catching yourself.
I did.
Thank you for
fucking Caucasians think that it's cool, like back in the day.
Woo.
Out here with the slaves and shit, fucking us, raping us, and carrying on, beating us, and
acting
killing
like
us,
nothing happened.
acting like nothing happened. Emmett Till, you lying ass Caucasians, sitting up here lying, talking about somebody whistled at you and shit. Yeah, that's a prime example of how you Caucasians sit up here and act. Girl, child, Lord Jesus, give me strength.
I hope those, and listen, and it even came out that there were some Caucasian girls
Women
that were found on a video. I hope and pray that if you guys are still here on Earth with us, they just come out. Now I do.
I want to hear y'all. I want to hear how your experience went with R. Kelly. Since we know how all the black women, I want to hear how
all the
these
minorities,
Caucasians,
not just black.
Okay, so all the minorities. You're right. You're right.
All the minorities.
My bad.
Right.
All the minorities.
Mm-hmm.
Since we know how their situation, I would love to hear how you Caucasians. Because a bitch like me, let me be in a motherfucking lead in this organization of a cult out this bitch. You know what I do to you Caucasians? What? Oh, bitch. They be like, we're putting this bitch under the motherfucking jail. Okay, they be trying to lynch my motherfucking ass to shit out to you Caucasians.
And it just disturbed me because she was so contradicting. She was very contradicting.
She was so unbelievable.
Because she was like, if you were raped or if you was abused, you should do this. I believe in a criminal justice system and blah 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 blah. And I'm listening.
But I seen R. Kelly have sex with this young girl.
But no.
And it was consensual.
No, not even that. I'm listening to everything she's saying, and I'm like, well, that's what these women are doing.
Mm-hmm.
These women are doing legit exactly what you just listed out, but yet you don't believe them.
Right. Oh, and then she also...
Because it was cool. Because it was consensual to her.
Right.
So it was cool.
Because they were his type. The teenagers were his type. And that's what she said.
It ain't matter because it wasn't her fucking daughter or nobody in her fucking family.
And
it wasn't her sister.
And her sister.
Oh, right.
Two that came up with this...
Facebook page.
The Facebook pages.
Surviving Lives.
Hold on. Or what? They did not come up with it, but they supported it. They support this Facebook page called Surviving Lives, which outs things about the victims that have come forward.
Blood pressure is boiling to the not what. Like, my fucking blood pressure is just...
I mean, but it's crazy because you hear these different sides.
Point.
Of course, we all have our own opinions.
Right.
And then you hear other people's opinions. But then you get the opinions that you get from their Surviving Lives, part 1 and part 2.
Right.
You get all of those. And then you're putting all this together and you're like, what the fuck?
Like,
it's mind-blowing.
It's crazy because it goes from, this girl that was getting girls from him.
Let's even start before that. It started out him
being abused by a family member.
To a neighborhood
uncle. Neighborhood uncle first.
Uncle Henry.
And then after that situation, he was then abused. Him and his brothers were all abused by a family member, a female family member.
Right.
Who was close in age to them.
Exactly.
Which,
I think that plays like a major key.
I think that a lot of people don't realize that children who are being abused end up being abusers. because they don't know the difference. When you're a child and your first experience with sex is wrong, but it feels good, how are you supposed to feel? Like, you
how do
know,
you really
it's
explain
wrong.
that? Yeah,
Right.
But oh my God, I like what I'm feeling.
But it feels
right.
really good.
Right.
Like, and I don't like it feels wrong, but it doesn't feel wrong.
Right.
Like, and so when you get to a grown up, which R. Kelly was when he, you know, started these relationships with these 15-year-old women who were around the age of when he was being molested. How?
His started at what?
His started from 8 to 14. So these girls was
And
14, 15.
And his brother was 6.
His brother was 6. So it's like, you know, you think about it, and I do feel empathy for R. Kelly, but I feel like he knew it's too much to be like, it's just you not knowing what the fuck you doing. At this point, it's too much. It's too much, because I feel empathy for you. I really, really do, because with you being a child who was abused and you going through what you were going through, you've never grown up from that 14-year-old boy. And that's why you don't see nothing wrong with dealing with these 14, 15-year-old girls.
Right,
but at the same time, knowing damn well you're in the fucking wrong. They had a whole fucking set where his brother, he had his poster on the back of his fucking door of the 12 play, and he's in there telling his brother, like, yo, that man right there, like, he's bad. He makes Robert do things like bad things that he doesn't want to do, pretty much. So you're talking about yourself, and what person is that? Whatever fucking person. Third person. Factual. Right. Mm-hmm. It's like bitches. So you knew damn well, because that was R. Kelly on the poster. Yeah. That wasn't Robert, who your family and everybody knows you as. That's R. Kelly that your fans and, you know, the rest of the world knows you as. Yep. You know what I mean? So it's like, but you knew you was in the fucking wrong. Yep. But that was R. Kelly. That wasn't Robert. So this is how you're, like, I'm watching that shit. It was like, okay.
He disassociates himself.
Right. So it's like R. Kelly is doing these things. Like R. Kelly is making Robert is not like this. But R. Kelly is taking over because he's so powerful. He has so much fucking money. And he basically has all these little women and everybody in the palm of his hand. And everybody's just going to do what the fuck he says.
So here's the thing is that now I feel like, because it's been 30 years, right? So is there a difference between R. Kelly and Robert now? Like, that was when 12 Play released. That was R. Kelly's first album. He's released multiple albums over multiple decades, all of that, right? So who's to say that now that R. Kelly is not Robert also, that it's not all together? And if maybe it did start out as something innocent, right? As something like, you know what, like, this is just a one-time thing, or, you know, a several-time thing, or like, you know, this isn't really what I want, but then it becomes a need. Yeah.
But he has an addiction.
It may be an addiction.
It's an addiction.
Now, I'm not saying that none of this shit is right. And I'm not saying that he don't need to go to jail for the rest of his fucking life. I'm not saying that he doesn't need to be catheterized. I'm not saying none of that. All of that shit needs to be.
By all means, I'm not saying that just because he has an addiction, it's okay.
It's not okay. Just like with any other addictions are, it's not okay.
It's not okay. But still, at the end of the day, I feel like there has been one too many people that have been around him. Yeah. Whether they are in the public eye.
Right, or not.
Or not. Family members, other artists in the industry, managers, personal assistants, anybody. You know, it could have just started out with just one person. That one person, you could have done something. Right. Just like, you know, you had people, it was people part of his camp, I think they were part of the record label, and they told him, yo, when the video with him peeing on the young lady. Right. With the young girl. Right. Yo, go out to Chicago, get all the tapes you can get. The fuck? I ain't doing that.
That's covering what's happening, right?
Everything is covering it up, brushing it underneath the rug.
Let's act like it didn't happen.
Trying to make
Let's
things
stop
like
it before it gets to be anything more.
Because everybody's
money.
worrying about their livelihood personally. Oh no, I'm still getting this guap.
But just because he got this fucking money, we're brushing everything under the rug. We're going to run out to Chicago and get every fucking tape that we can get because of the fucking money that you're giving me. But yet and still we got all these fucking little girls who's sitting out here in this fucking cult of his, okay? And you up here like, oh, it's cool, so fuck these little girls. It's like, really?
But here's the thing, is that, like, with that happening, right, with that situation that they did, they literally told the dude, like, he's the one keeping the lights on.
Right. So you can lose your job. If
y'all don't go shut this shit down, guess what? Ain't no lights gonna be on in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So again, over the money.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of this stuff stems,
because it wasn't nobody in your family.
Right.
Because if it was somebody in your family, it'd be probably a totally different fucking story. Maybe. We ain't even gonna say it would be. Maybe it would be. Like maybe.
Because
it's that much money.
That young lady's uncle, father, whatever, was still playing for him after the whole trial and shit was going on.
The young lady,
so we can
Sparkle's
say
maybe Sparkle's niece, who was in the actual tape.
That's the one who was in the P video, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Her father was still playing with R. Kelly.
Still playing bass or guitar,
and I think he still is employed with R. Kelly as of today.
Right, but we already know that with that situation, he basically paid them off because they didn't want to talk at all. They didn't want to say anything. Sparkle was the one. No, not ever. Sparkle was the one who came out and said something. They didn't say shit, and was still at that time was trying to get them to say something.
Right, because they were saying no, that's not her.
Right.
And she was already like, come on now. Oh my God.
So we got to go back, right, a little bit. So
yeah, because I wanted to go back on something.
With that situation, and I'm saying it wasn't her and everything, they also talked about how they kept pushing the court date off, right? So that she wouldn't look like a little 14-year-old girl. Because at the time when the tape was found and everything, she was 14, right? So they kept pushing the date, so that when she did come to court, she didn't look like she was 14 anymore. She would look like she was an older woman, right? She would look like she was someone who could consent to that action. So that's not only her family that's consenting to this shit, but that's the legal system being like, yeah, you can push this back 5 years.
Yeah, but even after that, everything still has a time limit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, we could push this back 7 years, but 7 years passed. We're past the statute of limitations. Like, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at all. But, like, one point I wanted to go on is the fact that, and I want to take it back to R. Kelly himself growing up, where the neighborhood uncle was there and he was molesting him.
Right.
And whatnot. With him going to jail, there was, what was it? $5,000.
Yeah, the mom
that was offered
off to the mom,
to R. Kelly's mother, for her not to press any charges, for her not to do anything,
not to go to court.
And guess what?
She didn't.
She took the money.
The money.
Why? Because she is in Chicago. She is
in a poor neighborhood.
Back then?
Yes, she's in a poor neighborhood. Exactly.
She's struggling. She's
struggling,
a single mother with 3 kids.
$5,000. I'm gonna take
that's
that.
gonna go a long way.
I'm not gonna go to court. I'm gonna take this 5 G's.
Right.
And keep it moving.
So
and now your fucking son is in the fucking cult. It's a cult.
Listen,
he's a leader of
a leader of the fucking
some
cult.
things have developed from that. But you know, I know
the fuck he is.
So I know, like the first time when we touched base on this from the first season, I know I was like, well, damn, well, where was the parents? Where was the parents?
Yep.
Where was the
Factual.
parents?
Yep.
Now you know you look at things like that. You really can't. You really can't say where were the parents or why weren't the parents there or why weren't the parents asking questions, because life goes on and or life happens. People are struggling. People are trusting their children to do what they're supposed to do.
And trusting the people who are supposed to be around
their
children.
But also, we got clarity as well on why the parents were involved. But what happened was, as kids, they were lying to their parents, not saying that they were going with a friend or staying over at a friend's house. But the whole time you're out here fucking this grown man. Yeah. You're having orgies and stuff with this grown-ass man and other little girls your age. So this whole time the parents were involved, but you're lying. They had no idea because they're trusting their kids and they're
to
like...
make the right decisions.
And you're like, okay, just like the one with the herpes, Faith.
Yeah.
You out here lying to your parents and saying like, yeah, I'm going to a friend's house and everything, and now it's a real big thing.
They had no reason
now you're
to not
emotionally
trust her.
fucked.
So just to give a little bit more background on that. So Faith Rogers sued R. Kelly for giving her genital herpes.
STD, yes.
And her parents had no idea that she was seeing R. Kelly at all.
Mm-hmm.
They were always told that she was going to see a friend, and the friend was someone in Chicago. Mind you, R. Kelly is flying her out of town.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly is flying her all over the place.
She's staying the weekend with her friend,
She's
with a
staying the
girlfriend.
weekend with her
She
friend.
flew out.
But her parents had no idea because they trusted her to make those decisions.
And
Right. Now it's coming out that she's with R. Kelly. And she told her dad, Faith told her dad, I don't want to deal with him. He's your age. That's like dealing with you.
Right.
But yet, she did.
Mm-hmm.
So we
then
gotta
you end
stop.
up and you got herpes, and now it's a real big ass thing. Now you're gonna take him to court and everything, but you were out fucking him, lying to your parents and everything, and it was cool. So it was
But
cool.
it wasn't cool.
But no, it wasn't. But
It
at
wasn't
that
cool.
time, she thought it was cool. But then you come up and now you have herpes and all this other shit is going around. So now it's like, oh, let me go ahead and sue him because this nigga done gave me herpes.
But I don't think it's just that. Like, I don't think it's just the herpes situation. I think it's the fact of like
All this shit going around, and now it's
of
like
him.
right, exactly,
It's him.
exactly
You
of
can't
him.
just-
So now all this surviving R. Kelly and everything, and all this shit's coming out, and everybody wants to come out now of your NDAs because money done ran the fuck out again. So now everybody wants to open up their mouth and
You
talk.
and these NDAs.
I don't give a fuck because everybody in these they done ran out. I only heard one person on that fucking joint say that she broke her NDA.
No, it was several of them.
When?
You didn't read. You
Oh,
didn't
I got
watch the
finished
whole thing.
watching it.
Right.
Okay, so let me
Several
take
of
that
them-
back.
Finished watching it.
Several of them
Yeah.
said
That's
that
fuck on my
they,
nerves.
including Faith, because I believe Faith got an NDA also. So a lot of them broke their NDAs to
More
actually
to that story
speak
is
on.
don't lie to your parents and you won't end up with herpes.
Not so much that.
Not necessarily herpes.
No.
Jesus.
No.
Just don't lie.
Or you won't end up in a quote.
No, I feel like
You
you
just
just
wanna
need
be
to make
yeah.
right decisions.
You just
like,
want to be in a
and
effed up
and-
situation.
the one thing you're not talking about is
What?
that she was sheltered.
I forgot about that part.
She was sheltered.
She was.
Her parents are. Her
Pastors.
father is a pastor. Her mother is a first lady. She
Right.
was very sheltered. They did not allow her to have any boyfriends or anything for, I think, until she was out of high school.
Okay.
She couldn't have any boyfriends or anything. So with that,
Right, that's what, yeah.
you know,
That
and
opens
the
up
other
a
thing
whole
you gotta
thing.
talk about is that R. Kelly could spot a girl who he could victimize
Who
a
was
mile
just
away.
like him when he was younger.
He could spot that weak girl a mile away. And I can't even say that they was weak because, baby,
Something
if
troubling.
I was to go through any of that shit that that they went through, I would be done. I wouldn't be here because they went through some shit. Okay,
Yeah, they definitely.
So I can't
endured
even say
some
weak
crazy situations
because they aren't weak,
No.
but they've gone through stuff that allowed them to be okay with what they were going through with R. Kelly.
Manipulator.
I was gonna say he was.
Yeah,
He was
Yep,
a
yep,
manipulator.
mhm.
Like he was a fucking manipulator to these young women.
Yep.
Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what it
And
was.
this shit happens every day, just to different
It
extents.
shit happen
Yep.
every day.
You know what I
B.
mean?
It really does. It
Because
really does.
you get cheated on by your dude every day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And he
But
lying
he
to
telling
you
that he
in your
loves
face.
you,
Yep.
but he out here sleeping with everybody else anymore. But you know what I mean? It happens and it's different levels to it.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that this has been taken to a totally different level. No, we don't
Because
want to
of
say that
celebrity.
we're no, we don't want to say that we're actually seeing this, with our own eyes right here in the forefront. We don't want to actually say it, but this shit is real.
It's real. And
It's real and it's really real. Unfortunately, it has to be a black man that's going through this. Not really bringing a race or anything like that into it, but I
Right.
do believe this shit has been going on
Right.
for a
far
long fucking
beyond
time.
him. It started way before him. It's just the fact that it's now catching up with him,
Yeah.
and these young ladies are talking and bringing it out.
Well, a lot of people
this shit for years.
And that's why
you dumbass, you got
just look
acquitted of the fucking charges, and then you continue to do the shit. Why? Because you have a problem now. So you couldn't.
Right.
You got a fucking problem.
But with him also continuing to do these things, he is now being charged with RICO charges. A lot of people think that he's just being charged with assault or molestation or some kind of charge of that sort, right? No, he's not being just charged with that. He's charged with RICO. He's charged with running a criminal enterprise, right?
Exactly, a fucking quote. We might just get hit with that RICO.
I hate her so much. And the reason why is because R. Kelly was the leader
of this cult.
And he, not only was he the leader, but he had handlers. He had people who was handling stuff for him, right? And on top of them handling stuff for him, he had people who were taking pictures of these young ladies. Making videos of these young ladies. These young girls.
Pause. Just remind me of that. Because this motherfucker, I mean, what? Where's the pastorette that came into the house?
That's the one I want to talk to.
Where is the pastor that came into this house and R. Kelly admitted and pointed to this wall of videos and said that he has a problem, that he jerks off to watching to these videos.
He had a whole fucking
wall
of
videos. Where's that pastor at? Why didn't you come out? Because I want to know, what the fuck did you do? Because I would have been like, see, this is why I ain't no pastor. See what I'm saying? Because my mind, the way my mind worked, I'd be like, well, Mr. Kelly, you know, I am a pastor and everything. Can I see one of these videos?
Yeah, that's why
he probably would. That's exactly why I'm a pastor. Why. He probably wouldn't have let me see him because you know why?
No, because he was with fucking 12-year-olds.
Exactly.
But I would.
He didn't have to think of the video he was showing.
I don't understand. Like, where's this pastor? Why haven't you came forward? Because I'm like, well, what kind of video?
But you know what?
We don't know if
Here's
this pastor is still with us or not.
For one. For two, you don't know if this pastor knew the extent that all this shit went to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then that goes back to...
Because she might know it was videos, but she may not have known that it was videos of little girls. She just might have thought that it was porn.
That goes back to that little girl. What's her name? Asante or something. Oh, they doing all this and it's been going back since the 90s. Well, bitch, because on the thing, doesn't it say survivor? Wasn't she a survivor? So if it's been going back since the 90s, why the fuck are you on there as a survivor? I'm confused. Because now they just want to see me dead and commit suicide. Bitch, and it's been going since the 90s. They had evidence. Bitch, if they had evidence, then why the fuck were you on there as a survivor? I'm confused as fuck. If you knew all that...
with him no more. She's not.
Listen.
But if she said it had all this evidence since the 90s, you knew all this.
But it was evidence that was brought to courts. Like, you can't just talk about her. Yeah. There was evidence that was legit brought to court.
I'm talking about her because she's the one that was running her mouth.
On the thing, Chad.
Because she's running her mouth.
Yeah, she was running her mouth. That's why she got brought up. But here's the thing.
But Tiffany brought the shit to the courts. Brought the criminal case to the court.
You know what happened? If she was a Caucasian, this would be totally different.
If this was white women,
oh
if this was white girls,
God, R. Kelly would have been in jail.
We wouldn't even know who R. Kelly is.
Hello.
We wouldn't even know who R. Kelly is.
This is the difference. So she goes to court and then we sweep it up under the rug.
And
didn't they give her bread? Wasn't she paid?
She was paid with a settlement.
50,000?
I think it was 50. I feel like it was 250.
Yeah, 250,000.
250.
But I may be lying.
50.
But whatever. She gave him money. She was giving some money.
She got a settlement.
But the thing is that, like we talked about, right? This goes all the way back to his childhood. Mm-hmm. His mother was paid off with $5,000 and it was swept under the rug.
Right.
So what do you think that
shit didn't happen?
He thinks that I'm going to give these girls some money and it's going to get swept under the rug. Because that's what happened to me. Mm-hmm. And it's not right either way. Yeah. No. It's not right that it happened to him. And it's not right that he continued this.
To destroy
these girls like he was destroyed. And then this motherfucker used the story of him being abused to get some of these females. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He used that fucking story to relate to these girls.
Like, you know what? I was abused
too. oh my God, you getting touched by your uncle too?
Oh, meanwhile, he's sitting up there
I
fingering the
did
pussy.
too. Like, I did too.
Oh,
Your father's not in the house.
meanwhile,
It's okay. My
he's
father
got
wasn't
his
there
face
either.
in your ass, and he's telling you like, yeah, I was abused too, and no reason why he's abusing your motherfucking ass. See what I'm saying? I can't, because this shit
It's
be
crazy.
taken to a
I
whole
mean,
nother
it's really,
fucking
really crazy.
level. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It's crazy.
If us black women, like, if we stuck together like these fucking Caucasians, you know how fucking
that's
powerful
why-
we will be.
But here's the thing. That's why a lot of people talk about it bad. And they shouldn't, right? That's why Me Too movement is here.
Right.
That's why Mute R. Kelly is here.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is all of these black girls that are being molested by R. Kelly. And this is something that nobody cared about until this fucking documentary came out. And you saw that these girls were telling, as grown women, were telling the same fucking story.
Right.
From 20, 30 years. And they were telling the same story. The girl who was the first one telling the same story as one of the ones that he just had.
Mm-hmm.
What? So it's not like you're just talking about girls that he dealt with from like 1990 to 2000, right? You're talking about girls that he dealt with from 1990 until today, telling the same fucking story.
Yep.
About how
nothing different. There's
he-
no indifference in any of their stories.
About how he courted them.
Nothing.
And how he got them to trust him. And then he turned into this predator.
And they never met. They've never
He
met.
had four
They all
fucking
tell the same
women.
story, and they've never met.
4 women in the house at the same time. And they never saw each other. Never. What kind of bullshit is that? How I can't be in the house with one person and not see them. But 4 people you in the house with, you're in there with 4 different females and you only see that nigga?
Right.
How?
That's because, listen, I told you that you can't
You just
move.
make my neck hurt.
If you think you're gonna move, you gotta let me know your every move.
I'm done.
You know what I'm saying?
Like legit.
He is the Pied Piper.
Like legit.
Okay? So they didn't move until he played his fucking pipe. Like,
You gotta go to the bathroom.
He's a puppeteer.
You can't go to the bathroom.
You know what I mean?
Tiffany in the bathroom right now. Wait for Tiffany to come out the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
In 15 minutes, I will text you to tell you can go to the
Matter
bathroom.
of fact, don't even do that. Just go that way. Don't go out the
Don't
front.
go to the
Go
north
to the-
bathroom.
yeah.
Go to the east bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so crazy. And I mean, and even like we go back to that first season when we see some of these houses.
Yeah.
These homes were just so huge.
they were not home. They were estates.
They were
They were
estates.
estates. That's how big they were. They weren't a home.
They weren't homes, not at all. And I see why he wasn't paying the bills. But that's a different story. But I'm just saying, I could imagine not seeing someone, but not being able to see 3 other women. I don't know.
In one house.
Maybe 2 other women, possibly, depending on the situation and what's really going on. Depending. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you're
But
legit in a room by yourself until he comes in or until you and him fly
or
out.
you're being
wherever.
preoccupied with somebody, y'all in there playing
That
spades.
right. One of his
You don't know.
handlers.
You being taken out, you going shopping. This person
That's
over
it.
here being wine and dine. You know, this person just got fucked. She sleep, so we good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It blows my mind, and I feel so sorry for the people who do think that he's in the right.
Yeah.
I
Most
really feel
definitely.
sorry for them.
Most
So there is one last thing that we do want to talk about today, and it's because of all of this, you know, with the RICO charges that R. Kelly has. On top of that, it's the real reason he got RICO charges is because these charges come from different states. Right? It's not just Illinois he's getting these charges from. He's getting charges from Georgia. He's getting charges from Florida, New York. He's getting charges from several different states. And that brings me to something really, really huge, which is human trafficking. So, a lot of people don't think about human trafficking. Human trafficking involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act. They can technically get R. Kelly on human trafficking.
Most definitely, I can see
even
that.
if it's just for his use,
Mm-hmm.
because he's coercing these girls
Mm-hmm.
to commit sex acts
Right.
in different states.
And who to say
And
that
he's
some of these
forcing-
other guys weren't even participating in any of these acts, and or it don't even have to be an act with him. It's just, oh yeah, you know, go see
You going
Tom.
in the room, right?
Yeah.
And you walk in the room, you on video seeing Tom fucking this 15-year-old.
Exactly. You just never know.
That's probably why the whole camp was so fucking quiet. Because
But not only that,
out here fucking these little
He
girls.
had
too.
movies he made talk about dumb looks.
Yeah, because y'all was out here fucking these little girls too. So you up here, y'all were going to get these little girls, and on top of that, while he's fucking them, you up here fucking with them too. Nasty ass, old ass bastards.
So not.
fuck with
But
my
But
nerves,
it's,
man.
I think that it's just
Yeah,
it's not even that. It's
fucking
like
nasty.
so think of it like this, right? So I think of it like Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? So they met. Jay-Z was he was like 30.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce was 19, right? So say that there's a sex tape out there that R. Kelly has of Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Who gives a shit? She was 19.
But do either one of them want that shit to be released?
Why the fuck would R. Kelly have
So,
one?
cause R. Kelly, we just talked about this shit. Best of both worlds. They
I had a slow moment.
She
I had a slow moment.
her regular.
This is any
So,
I'm
but
a
think
black
of
man.
that.
I'm a black man.
I'm a blackmail y'all.
I'm a
If
black
if
man.
either one of y'all talk about the shit that I've done with these girls, I got this shit on tape of y'all fucking, and I can release this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and I think that with a lot of people that don't understand what human trafficking, they think of human trafficking doesn't happen in the United States, right? They think human trafficking is something that happens in third world countries, poor countries, all of that. Let me enlighten you. It happens in the United States just as much as any other country.
Most definitely.
Factual.
It's happening
Just
more
as much.
now. You know, it seems like it's just being brought to
More
the
to
surface
Mm-hmm.
now, and it seems like it's more now here in the U.S. more
Yeah.
than ever when it's actually been here.
Now, African Americans and other minorities are like the top of the list of who they pick for human trafficking. So when we talking about these brown girls that have been, I knew she was going to do it, that have been molested by not just R. Kelly, but there's so many that are being human trafficked right now.
There's so many young ladies
And-
that we have not been able, they haven't been able to find. They're
Right.
missing.
And because it's a black or brown girl, guess what? They don't care. They're not going to take those risks to find them. Because guess what? Oh well, she just ran away. She'll be back. Mind you, like there's a whole human trafficking epidemic happening right now when it comes to our young girls. And you have to not just instill what your daughters, nieces, sisters, you can't just instill them with the you can't talk to these dudes or this dude or this dude or this dude, because it's the one that you think is your best friend that is the one that's going to human traffic you. It's not dudes that they don't know. And that's what people keep getting confused, is that a lot of time when it comes to the human trafficking is done by the actual family members. It's not done by someone that they don't know. It's done by a family member or someone very, very close to the family. It was, I went to, I did some volunteer work last year, and I got to hear about human trafficking and about how like this young girl was being human trafficked in her own home by her mother and her brother. They were setting up her dates, quote unquote. So this is your neighbor. If you think about it like this, right? You got that neighbor who barely talks to you. You just say hi. They just say hi. You never see the kids outside. You never see them doing stuff, whatever. Those could be the ones that's out there human trafficking. It's not uncommon. And we have to, as black people, as brown people, if you are Caucasian, whatever color you are, you have to sit there and be like, this is not okay. And stop it. If that's not what's happening, it's never going to stop. And that's going to lead to R. Kelly having more girlfriends. He's about to lose these two. But guess what? If we don't sit up and we don't say our black girls are worth more, you need to watch out for this. You need to let me know this. If something happens, I don't care if they say they're going to kill you. You tell me. Because I'd rather be dead than someone hurt you. Because that's what they'll say. Or because they are a family member or close friend, they say, oh, don't tell nobody I'm going to get in so much trouble. It's not about them getting in trouble. It's about how you feel. It's about you don't feel right. You need to say, you know what, auntie, such and such was around me and I didn't feel right. We need to allow our children to say that to us.
Right.
And to be okay with that. And I hope that this is something that we can change with this conversation.
Most definitely. And I think we can dive deeper into it as
Yeah.
well with another conversation.
Right.
Because
Definitely.
This is just not for here. It's
Yeah.
just not this scenario. It's just not this situation.
Right.
At all. But definitely. We just have to be out there. We have to make sure that we instill and make our children and make our youth more comfortable with us.
Yeah.
Being as adults, being as parents, guardians, whatever. Make sure that they are comfortable and they are knowledgeable of what's right, what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not okay, it's okay for you to say
you
that
to say.
you're not okay. You know,
If
so
you don't want to go over such and such's house,
you don't have to.
you need to say, I don't want to go over such and such's house. And if I say, oh, baby, it's okay, you need to tell me why it's not okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Like, and I think that so many of us as parents force our kids, and for me, you know, I have my niece and my nephews, force them to, oh, say hi to such and such, baby. Hug on them. Give them a hug. It's okay. We got to stop doing that. Because everybody ain't okay. Because then guess what? Auntie such and such who barely is ever around, you just now gave them the opening to now be so friendly with your child. If they don't want to give hugs, like, I never get offended when kids don't want to give me a hug. I never get offended when a kid doesn't wave at me, right? And you know why? Because they're doing what they're supposed to fucking do. Mm-hmm. I'm a stranger. If you don't say hi to me, that's fine. Don't make that child say hi to me because they don't know me. Mm-hmm. They're doing what they're supposed to do. I don't get offended by that. If a child doesn't want to hug me, it's fine if they don't want to hug me. They don't know me. They have their own resistance. They have their own coping mechanism. And they're like, I don't know her. What you mean I gotta hug her? That's fine if they don't want to hug me. Don't make no kids hug somebody and they don't want to. Don't make them say hi to somebody just because someone's waving. Don't make them do it. Mm-hmm. We teach them every day, don't talk to strangers, but then when a stranger comes around, you tell them to say hi and hug them. And then you wonder why they're so confused. That's why. I'm sorry, I just went on a little soapbox rant.
I don't know, I'm finished.
But back to
on the
soapbox
Markle
and his shenanigans.
Stay where the fuck you at.
You know, keep him underneath the jail cell. I really hope that you guys do not try to manipulate the system and try. I'm not even gonna say that manipulate the system, but try to let him slither out of this.
Right.
And make it seem like, oh, it's because it's a mental thing. Oh, it's because he has this, oh, okay, you know, I'm going to call him, he's depressed and he has schizophrenia and he has this.
Dissociative personality
disorder, all disorders and things of that sort, for him to be out here doing the same thing in another 6 months. No. Let's punish him the way he needs to be punished. And, it's starting with him. And there's so many more out there.
Yeah.
That we need to definitely address and make sure that it's okay that, we know that such and such did that and we know it wasn't right.
Yeah.
And he was wrong for that. Or she was wrong for that. And let's go on to the next.
I just think that shit is just so crazy. Like a fucking girl up here
on
top of this little boy.
But it
does happen. But I mean, it's just like so crazy. Like me being a female, like it's no way possible this little ass boy with this little ass baby is going to sit up here and do anything.
But that's how you think,
right?
Yeah, that's your thought.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's some fucked up individuals.
You think like I don't find that shit attractive.
No, but it's fucked up individuals, and it's just crazy to me to even just.
But let's not just talk about celebrities. So many times we talk about these celebrities when. We talked about this before. There's Uncle, what was his name?
Uncle Henry.
Uncle Henry's in everybody's fucking neighborhood.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
There's Auntie Pam's in everybody's fucking neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Those are the one. Cousin Cheryl's, all of that shit.
Cousin.
They all over. It don't matter. They come in all different shapes, sizes, colors. And relationship type. They have so many different type of relationship statuses. And
those are the ones that need to be stopped more than these fucking celebrities. Granted, the celebrities need to be stopped too if they're doing this shit. But it starts right at home. They're
not born celebrities. They're born humans.
They're born
that are being manipulated as children. They are being taken advantage of, and they are developing they have a craft and they develop it and they become these celebrities that are now doing bad shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So as human beings, we need to take accountability of what's right, what's wrong, and who's doing the wrong shit, and them being reprimanded for it. Yeah. Period. That's just it. It has nothing to do with being a celebrity or anything. It just so happens he is a celebrity that's being put on the pedestal, and they're making, they're making a case out of him. They're making it.
Which he deserves.
Most definitely. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. You got any last words?
I don't got shit.
You never got shit.
I'm over it.
Yeah, it's heavy. That's my last word. It's heavy, but we have to start taking these burdens off of the children and putting them on our shoulders so that they're not holding that weight. I think that's the most important thing. We need to start taking that accountability as adults to stop it.
Yeah. And for me, a little bit on what you touched on, we have to also not look at these victims and point the fingers at them.
Correct. Yes.
Because
that's not victim shaming.
We have to stop doing that. Because it's not, oh, she knew better. Oh, this happened. We have no idea what is going on. This person's life that is being developed and also making it available for them to be so vulnerable. Mm-hmm. For those predators to be out there being able to manipulate them and take advantage. So we have to definitely stop victim shaming and pointing a finger and to actually say, okay, so if you're saying this, why did that person do that? Why did he or she do it? And what do we need to do to make sure he or she doesn't do it again? So we have to stop doing that because we're not going to go anywhere without doing it. And, we just got to stick up for one another.
Yep.
Period. Because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Yep. Pretty much. So this is it from the Gett Em Gurls Crew podcast for this week. We will be back next week, Sunday at 6 p.m. with another amazing episode for everyone with our regular shenanigans. We got a little deep this episode, but we do that sometimes.
It's okay.
We do that sometimes. sometimes. We got a lot of opinions. So we will see everybody next Sunday at 6 p.m. It's been a pleasure, y'all. Bye.